YouTube, what's good? It's your boy 4 and we back with another video. Today we got my boy and he's going on his prom. We gotta get him right. We gotta give him that sauce.
Come on.
Anyways, we're gonna start this haircut off by combing through his hair. And as you can see, he has a lot of gray hair. He's young. I think he's like 17, 18. So he's young. That can just be hereditary, genetics. So we're taking his hair down with the number 4 guard. We're going with the green. His hair is pretty wavy, but we washed it. He always wants me to wash his hair really good before his haircut. So his waves did kind of disappear. So we're cutting it down to a 4 with the green. Usually I do a 3.5, but he was like, he wanted it a little thicker for the prom. So I decided to just go with that 4. And I did like the length that the 4 cut it to. It was really thick, but not too, like it wasn't frizzy or nothing. It still laid down nicely once we trimmed it. So after I cut the hair down, something I really recommend doing is just blow drying the hair and combing through it, because a lot of those loose hairs can get stuck in between their scalp, which can be annoying, at least for me. So to start this taper off, we're pretty much just going to do a simple mid taper, very straightforward. Make that first guideline right where the ear line is. Use our shavers, then take our Babyliss FX clippers. And I actually set these in a weird way. So I set the blade kind of crooked so that I could use the corner to get those first guidelines out on all my haircuts, which really works for me. Now I have my 1 guard. As you can see, we have the pictures in the left hand corner. Now I close my lever fully on my 1 guard. First we had it open and now it's closed. And then I grab my 4 guard. And the 4 guard, this is pretty much equivalent to like clipper over comb. I'm not really debulking. I'm kind of like flicking out just to kind of lighten up that area. And now I'm debulking with my 3 guard. I'm going straight up, flicking out towards the top. And tapers can be tricky because the guards, you don't want to hit the client in his ear with the guards. So you want to use the corner of the guards. This is my 2 guard. And as you see, I'm using my corner of the guard so that you don't ram it into their ear and make them bleed or something crazy like that. But you guys get the point. Then I switched to my 1.5 guard. A lot of these guards aren't necessary. Like on some haircuts, I just skip guards because it's just not necessary. But for this one, I wanted to use all my guards. This is my 0.5 wall premium guard. And as you can see, the taper's done that fast. But we're going to refine it. So I'm going to teach you guys how I refine my tapers, especially on this texture. This client, I believe he's Vietnamese, so he has a different hair texture than usual. As you can see, it's not really Asian hair, but it isn't like curly or anything. It's like spiky, but it lays down. It's weird and it's wavy. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my thinning shears and I'm thinning those bulky areas out. And then I'm point cutting with my thinning shears. So notice how those little dark spots completely diminish with the point cutting. That was a flawless taper. Now we're gonna start on the back. The back I'm gonna do a little differently. So instead of the thinning shears, I'm gonna use clipper over comb this time, just to teach you a different technique. Now, these are pretty simple techniques. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. We're doing the same steps in the back, setting our lever open guideline, about a full inch. And then right above that, we take our 1 guard fully open. Once again, about the same width, about a full inch. And then under that, we're gonna close our lever fully. And as you can see, it kind of low-key erased that guideline. I didn't expect it to. So then I just decided to just run it with the 1/2 guard just to erase it real quick. Usually I would have left it for the end, but I was like, it's right there. I might as well. Like, it was right there. Then I just went ahead and erased that bottom guideline with my lopsided clipper blade. So the blade's kind of lopsided. I did it purposely so that I can fully be able to get it out with my corners, all the bottom guidelines. So this is what we're doing differently. We're doing some clip over comb. So instead of using the 3 guard and the 4 guard, we're just gonna clip over comb that top part and then drop back down to our 2. After the 2, we drop down to our 1.5. Like I said, a lot of these guards be unnecessary. And as you can see, that back taper is pretty much flawless. It's extremely blurry. So we're gonna get started on the shape up around his ear. Now this area is a little tricky for me just because his hair is extremely thick in these areas. So I do have to kind of like thin these areas out with my 3 guard, my 4 guard, and then I feather with my 2, and then my thinning shears. Very straightforward. You don't want to dig into the neckline, but you also don't want to keep it too natural. And always keep that ear line low as possible. So to prep his hairline, we're going to take the 4 guard against the grain. He has a lot of bangs and he doesn't really like them too long. After that, I take my 2 guard and I'm going with the grain on his bangs. I spray a little bit of hairspray, nothing too crazy. And I pretty much combed and blow dried his hair back into its natural state, the front line. So as you can see on the lineup, I'm using my deep tooth blade. I could have used my regular standard babless blade. It would have worked just as well. But for this haircut, I decided to use my deep tooth blade. As you can see, it's not necessarily the liners that are hitting. It's just the angle that I'm angling my clipper blade and how I prepped his hairline. Yes, the clippers are sharp, but I'm allowing the blade to cut the hair. A lot of people will angle their blade differently and it won't cut correctly. So to get started on his C-cup, I do kind of push back his C-cups a little bit to match, because one side's naturally higher than the other, so I do push one of the sides up to give him like smaller C-cups. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, that's obviously not his natural C-cup right here. It's not a horrible pushback, but it is slightly pushed back a little bit. For his vertical bars, I like to keep them short. And we're doing the other C-cup. As you can see, I'm utilizing the corner of my blade, which is very important. You don't always need to use the full blade. It's unnecessary. Now we're using our enhancements, and I just got a new compressor. Head down to my Amazon storefront to check it out. That joint is crazy. My old one almost exploded, so I'm gonna drop a vlog soon explaining it, but my old compressor almost exploded. But look at that line. That's crazy. This is a PROM haircut right here. Now we're gonna detail it. As you can see, his texture, it's frizzy, so it stands up, especially after I washed it. If I didn't wash it, it wouldn't be as frizzy. So we're gonna get rid of all those loose hairs, especially if you got a special occasion. You gotta make sure you get them all the way right. Detailing that lineup. Finally, we're gonna spray him with some oil sheen. This is how my client came in. And this is how he's leaving for his prom. We got him right. Make sure you follow my Instagram at the 4th Ken. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.